Young man Marcus, got you in class. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear. If you can hear me okay, Marcus. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me okay. Shalom, Lord Christ. I appreciate that. Shalom, Israel. We're the I.S.U.P.K. Start off 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Under Commanding General YAHANNA, we start off 1969, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, make up the 12 tribes of Israel. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite group. We are the Lashawan Qadas class here in Greenville, South Carolina, and we're teaching the ancient Hebrew, the Syrian Hebrew, in our chart that we have right here. We read Hebrew from right to left, and we'll ask a few questions as we start on. We're going to talk a little bit about the 18 nations and get you guys to do some translation for me, and we'll get started in class as soon as people, more and more people check in class. Let's see what we got here. We got Radazak, Sure, Judah 1 West. Glad to have your brothers in class. Appreciate that. While you're there, I'm going to say like a Hebrew is our original language. It's our chosen language, man. It's the language that the Most High chose for His people, for His special people. The blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians are His special people. We are. So we have a language, man, and that's called Lashawan Qadas. You know, we speak Hebrew. You know, when we say Abagada Hawazaka Tayakalamanasa Ipatazakwa Rashapta. That's our what you would call it the alphabet, but it's actually the Hebrew characters. Why? Because they make a caricature. They make a picture. You know, they in other words, they make a picture that looks like this. You know, that's Ah. And this is an Ah. Oops. That's an Ah in the ancient. And of course, the original Hebrew started off with the Ah that looks like this. You know, Ah, laid down sideways A. And so that's what people, and so I ask every week to people get it firmly in their mind for people starting off, and even for people who've been around for 6 months or to a year studying this. You read Hebrew from right to left. How many characters are there in the Hebrew? We'll start off, how many are there in the ancient Hebrew? How many there are there in the ancient Hebrew? In the ancient Hebrew, how many characters are there? Or how many, what you would call alphabet? How many characters are there in the Hebrew? In the ancient Hebrew? How many are there? You know, I'll give you the first one. Like, was that Marcus? Yeah, I believe it has 22. Right. There's 22 of them. All right. And then we'll get to the Assyrian Hebrew. How many are there in the Assyrian Hebrew? How many characters are there in the Assyrian Hebrew? Because we're going to talk a little bit about, a little bit specifics about both of them. How many characters are there in the Assyrian Hebrew? Okay? Let's see what we got here. Got Radazak, Kazmar checking in. Glad to have you, bro. Marcus, young man Marcus. So let me see. Let me check the other chat here. Some people on YouTube and some on Facebook here. So let's find out here, live chat. Let's go. All right, Judah 1, he says 22. Yeah. Well, okay. All right, Marcus, that's 22 in the Assyrian, but what about how many more characters are there in the Assyrian? There's 22 plus what? Plus there's some more. How many more are there? Tell me about those other characters in the Assyrian. Let's make sure we understand it. Radazab, Marcus. Let's see what you got here. You got 5? Yeah, you got 5 extra ones. That's exactly right. And that makes 27. So totally, in the Assyrian, let's clap it up for those brothers out there, man. Exactly right. In the Assyrian Hebrew, you have 27 characters. All right, let's see. I think he named them. Let's see here. Yeah, Indian characters. Exactly right. Clap it up for that brother right there. So now he understands that. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Radazak, y'all understand that, right? He called them ending characters. So we'll go ahead and put that on the board. They're ending characters. Exactly right. I try to go over this so people get refreshed, because if you keep doing something long enough as a habit, it forms a good habit in this case. Because we don't want to do sin that forms a bad habit. We want to do good, for the Most High, man. Be on our best proper behavior, as Commanding General YAHANNA said. We're supposed to be on our best behavior in these last days, man. This is the time for us to grow and get out of all this Christian church and all of this sinful Edomite understanding and how they run their world, man. We're just spending time here. This is not our home. This is not our resting place, man. This is not what we're doing. Most High is going to give on this earth, man. He's going to give us. He's going to create a new situation that will be called our heaven. So let's get all that out of our way. Ending characters. That's exactly right. There's 27 in the Syrian. There's 22 in the ancient. They're ending characters. Of course, ending characters are ka, mana, pa, and tazah, of course. We use them when you're using a word. I'll kind of go over this real fast. Okay, hey, if that's the case, in the ancient Hebrew, are there any ending characters? Let's just ask that question. Let's ask that question. Come on, y'all. Talk to me. Are there any ending characters in the ancient Hebrew? We know there are in the Assyrian. What about the ancient? Are there any ending characters? Y'all talk to me. Marcus says no. He says no. And that word for no, Marcus, is la'ah. That's a good way to understand it. Because that's good. There's nothing wrong. You can say no. I don't have no problem with that. Matter of fact, I'll put it up here. No is la'ah. Let's get into our Hebrew, and of course, yes is the word kan. Like yes or no. So there we go. All right. It's good, Marcus. Real good. La'ah. Yeah, there you go. La'ah. Right. And there are. Okay, and if that's the case, Radazak, Marcus, and who else? We have Quan up there yet. Young mans and troopers up in there. Well, check this out. In ancient Hebrew, if that's the case, what's distinct about it that's not in the Assyrian? What do we have up here? What do we have? In other words, if the Assyrian has ending characters and the ancient doesn't, then what does the ancient have that the Assyrian don't have? Tell me what they are. Ending characters here in the Assyrian, and what do you have in the ancient Hebrew that makes it distinct? What's distinct about it? Okay, let's see what yeah, that's right. Let's clap it up for that brother right there. There are connectors. Those are connectors. Exactly right. We'll write that here. Connectors. Spelled it right? Connectors, yeah. And connectors, what kind of connectors do we have? I mean, they look like this. One looks like this, and one looks like that. So what are they called? What kind of connectors are there? Write them out for me. Take your time. Take your time. Write those out for me. I want to know what those connectors are, man. Because those, we know that the Syrian Hebrew has ending characters, but the ancient Hebrew has what we call connectors, and that's what you guys have said. So what are these? What is connectors, man? I mean, what are they? What's going on there? All right, let's see what independent and dependent connectors. Clap it up for that brother right there. That brother knows he's been in class, and he knows now. And so we have independent would be this one. Put an I under there for independent. Independent is when you're joining together with a U, and that's dependent, And an upside down U would be an independent connector. And what they do is they join your sounds together to form and make words. That's what Hebrew is. Of course, and good. As you guys write that in your notes, let's put a couple examples before we move on to our class here. That's important. I'll erase this because it sounds like we know that. Like if I write a word, I want you guys to get the connectors right on this. If I, sorry, it's lucky. If I say, we're going to write it in ancient, and I want you to do the connectors. Tell me which one is right, and I'll do it like this. Is that one right, or is the one in the blue? Let's see. Let's use green. Or this one's right. Every once in a while. Which one is right? Which one of those connectors are right for this word here? As a matter of fact, I'll spell the word. The word spells A-ra-ta-za. So you'll now, using those connectors, which one is right? All you gotta do is just say green or black. A-ra-ta-za. 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 That give you guys used to listening. The top. Marcus says the one on top is black. What you want to use? Okay, okay, good. I see you say the one in the black. Okay, we'll wait to see if other brother. Let me check the other chat. Let's see what other brothers say about it. Let's see. Radazak, Kazamar. Let's see. They might be busy at the time. So let's see what Marcus says right here. Marcus says the one on top. Okay. All right. Let's do something here. On this word, let's break it down real quick, Marcus. Set the one on the top. When I say, and of course it has a lot to do with how I said the word, arataza, which means the earth, by the way. It just means earth. That's all it means. It means earth. Okay? Now, in saying that, and then that's why I try to go over these connectors and the ending characters. What seemed like is mundane, man, comes out to a lesson of understanding, Like when you say, ra, Then you want to say tazah. All these hold their own in their sound. That's why they have independent connection. And the reason why you don't want to put ra and a tazah together, you don't want to say ra tazah. You want to say ra tazah. You want to say it fast. It's one sound, and you can probably do that, but the best way I've ever seen it done is ara tazah. Ara tazah. Ara tazah. Don't mistake it. And that's no real if I were to put it's the way I spell the word. The way the word is spelled, you want to give its full sound. Ah, ra, and then tazah. All of these are sounds on their own. They have a right here, ra, and then a tazah. But if I put ra tazah at the end, then it would be, I'd have to do something with this there, and then it would mess up the spelling of the word. That's why I put this ara tazah up there, to let you know that, just so you can understand, Marcus, to let you know that and the word itself kind of gives it away a little bit. It gives you the full sound of the character of the word. And they're all independent sounds, ara tazah. But if I brought ra tazah and made them one sound, then you'd have to start following a rule, and you would drop a there, and you don't want to do that. You can't. Or you would it would be ar tazah. You understand what I'm saying, Marcus? You don't want to spell the word like this. You don't want to spell that word like ar tazah. But that's what you would be doing if you did this. Or you would be doing something like this. Ara, and then you would sing ara. You can't, because that all go together. You'll be saying something like ara taz. No. Anytime the spelling of the word generally gives it away. They all have their sound like that. Let's put another word up there. Just so you understand, Marcus is the one in the green, the one on the bottom. They have independent connectors, Yeah, okay, yeah, good. No, it's not. I mean, I understand. I mean, it can, it's not that obvious, Marcus, when you first looking at it. Really, it isn't. Because, depends on how I spell it, Let's put a word like, let's put another word up there, like, let's put a word like, let's see, what do I want to put? Okay, let's do this. Let's put a word like mayam, which means water, okay? But how you spell mayam, and I want you to come up with the connectors for me. It's a good lesson in connectors too before we get into our nations here, because we'll finish some more connectors up in there too. So if I say ma, and I'm using since I'm doing connectors, we're using the ancient Hebrew for right now, okay? Okay. Because it has connectors. I want to say ma, and then I want to say ya, and then I want to say Okay? So, I want you to tell me which one of these is correct. Ma, ya, ma. Or, no, that ain't the one I want right there. I did that wrong. Sorry. Like that. Which one is correct? Is it mayam? Mayam, or is it mayama? I mean, look at how it's spelled. Mayam. Look at how it's spelled. That'll help you with the connectors there. Because this also help you when you get to Assyrian, that you'll be able to break it down that way too. All right? All right? Take your time. Which one is correct? Marcus said, I would say the top. Okay. You would be right. It's copyright form. And of course, that was a little obvious. And why? Let's break it down why that is obvious. Okay, because you don't need the bottom. That's the one on the bottom that even makes sense. You don't want to say Maya Ma, because that's what that would be saying. But the reason why this is broken down like this, if you see this, then you would know how to spell the word. I'm spelling the word at first, so you get an idea, because if I put another word down there and tell you to find it out, the spelling of that, how does it spell, then you're supposed to be able to do that also in class too, right? So let's do it this way. Ma gets a full sound on its own. Ma. Ma is spelled M-A. It gets a full sound. When you get over here, you have what you call Ya. Ya, right here. But it's been joined with an M. So the M normally has an A over there. Mayama. But because I have joined them with the connector, that means the Ya is there in fullness, but the A after there, you have to drop. Why? Because that's the rule. So you just hear, all this Wa wants to do is join with this M and make a sound like Yam, or what you call Yam, but it's really Yam. So you say Ma, and then you say Yam. You don't want to say Maya Ma. Because if you left that A on there, then you that's what you'd be saying. You'd be making a whole nother word if I did it like that. Okay, so the word is Mayam. But if I wanted to, I don't know if Mayama is a word, but if I wanted to do it like this, man, Ma, Ya, Ma, then that would be spelled Ma, Ya, then Ma. Oops. Like that. So it'd be Ma, Ya, Ma. That means you get the full sound out of each one. Got that, Marcus? And Radazak and Quan, whoever else is there in that chat. So you definitely don't need the ah after this up here when you say mayam. But if I'm saying a word like mayama, then you want to say ma yama. Then you need this full sound, so you do. That's what the connectors are for, to make the full sound when you need it, and to join sounds when you don't need it. You just need to join. You want to say concert because of the M-A. I would say top because of the ma. Right, and you're right, because of the ma. Concert. Right, exactly. You want to say concert, Marcus. I don't want either one, just concert. How you want to do it? But anyway, that's exactly right. Ma by itself. And then, of course, you join these two together, that ya. And of course, I should have put this right there. I forgot the ya has a stem right there. Salaki for doing that. It's not a Z, it's a ya. Sorry about that. Okay? So, Mayam, which means water, of course. And that's the importance of understanding words. That's the reason why when we found the scrolls, Dead Sea Scrolls, and all the reliefs and writings, we were able to spell things correctly because we knew how these connectors work. All you got to do is just look at it and go and figure out that, okay, Mayam means water. Then we found out our Lashawan Qadas. We wrote it all out, and now we know how it sounds. Because if I put this word, let me see. If I will erase this part. Let's put this word in Assyrian. See what it looks like, the contrast, man. Let's just put it in Assyrian right here. What if I did this? What if I put this word in Assyrian like this? Okay. Ma, and of course Yah, looking like this. That's a Yah, something like that. Little bird looking thing up there. And then of course you want to put the ending connector right here. Like that. Mayam. And by looking at it, you wouldn't even know if it was Mayama or Mayam or what. You wouldn't know. You'd be guessing. Which is cool, and that's fine. That's what we learn in Assyria. That's it's a word, but the best spelling is when you have these connectors up here, man. Mayam, like that. That's how I see it. Right? Okay. All right. Let's do one more here before we go on to the. Let's do a number, something like. Let's do a number like. If I was going to spell the number 12. If I was going to spell the number 12, I would call it. Shanya, right? Akkad, Shanya, Shalash. Shalash. Right? And I would say Ashara. Just like that. That would be the number 12. And of course, if I was going to spell that out, I would say, going to spell it backwards here. I'm going to say Sha, then I'm going to say La, then I'm going to say, just like that, okay? Shalash, then I would say Shalash, just like that. And then if I was going to say Ashara, I would say Sha, and then I would say Ra. Just like that. Shara. Ashara. You don't want to say Ashara. Why? Look at the word. Let's look at that word. Let's look at this. Let's look at these words here for a second. Let's just look at them. Sha gets a full sound. Sha. There it is right there. La gets a full sound. But when you go to Sha over here, it's dropped the A. Put a dot here so you know it's another word. It dropped the A, and that's what this done. That's why when you have the connectors here, independent connector here, and dependent connector here. That means you drop that last vowel on that last one. We write Hebrew from right to left. So we wrote Shalash Ashara, that's the number 12. So Sha, then you want to say La, right here. But you got to draw in that Sha together. So you want to say the word Lash, right? You don't want to say Lasha, you want to say Lash. And the way to do that is to drop the A out here. Or if you didn't, you'd have Lasha, like Lashawan, Qadas. And that would be the correct connector spelling on that. And over here you have and I, independent. That's I. This is the number 10. You have 2 plus 10 equals 12. So I, then you have Sha. Okay. Why is it the full sound? Because I'm telling it to be the full sound. I'm telling it to be I. There it is right there. And I'm saying Sha. I'm telling it to be the full Sha. There it is right there. And Ra. You don't have to drop no A. I'm giving it the full sound. That's why you spell I-Shara the way you spell it. With independent connectors. I-Sha-Ra. I-Sha-Ra. And to reiterate, to go back to Shalash, which means 10, by the way. This means 10. And this means 2. And of course, 2 plus 10 is 12. All right? Then you have, what do we have? Sha, independent connector. That's why it gets S-H-A. That S-H-A is a character. And it says Sha. Looks like a little W, but it's a Sha. And of course, the La, it gets its full sound because we was telling it to have its full sound. No? It's rare that it drops it like that. There are words like when you have Ra'ash, when you add another one and all that, but you know, hey, Ra'ashwan or what Ra'ash, but we ain't talking about that right now. We're talking about, then you got Sha. Do you want to drop the A after this because you have joined an independent connector? Is that understood? If that's understood, just let me know. Let me know, Marcus. I'm assuming you know that. Very good. Appreciate that. Okay, let me check the other chat here real quick before we mosey on here. And you guys like and share the class too, by the way. Put some likes up there and share the class. Have Officer Dawada, my Hebrew teacher here, looking in on me. Give me approval or disapproval. I hope he's giving me approval. Well, that's how you do that. I mean, when you want to write, when you use connectors, you got to be very, very careful about how you're using them. That's why we go over lessons using connectors. They're not to be taken lightly because, you know, if I was to do this in Assyrian, by the way, this is ancient Hebrew up here, what we're using. If I was to do that in Assyrian, it'd be kind of hard to differentiate what's going on. And you wouldn't hardly even see it. You might even have a hard time trying to pronounce it sometime. But when you say Shalash Ashara, of course we're writing it right to left. So that's the rule. Just make sure you understand this connecting rule. That rule is important in Hebrew, in the ancient Hebrew. It's important because you want to spell the word right. If you don't, you're going to get into a whole nother word, which will be not good. Right? That's the point. Okay. See if we can, let's do, all right, that being the case, that sets us up for a lesson. And of course, if we tend to lack in class, we'll go back. Radazak, Marcus, Quan, and all the people that are looking in class there. Let's go to what we have on the board. Let's do this first one right here. That's the one with the blue arrow pointing to it right here. Write this out in English. That's the way we have to do it. Slock you. There we go. Write this out in English, what this spells. Just the one blue arrow pointed at. Don't worry about the rest of it right now. Write out, we have a word up here that's in ancient Hebrew. I want you guys to, with using the connectors that are you given, write this out in English. What do you think it spells like? Using the rules that we just went over on the board and what we've always gone on in class, and write that down. Write down what you see. I mean, write down that word. Remember, Hebrew is from right to left. From right to left. Using these connectors you see in front of you. Tell me what that spells. Give you guys some time here. Boy, let's see here. I know some of you guys at work, Qadas and Razak, maybe, I don't know. So Marcus, go ahead. I don't know where the women at tonight. I know we normally have our sisters in class. But you guys go ahead and what was I saying? Write this out. Write that out using the understanding of connectors that we've done in class. Go ahead and write it out in class. Write out what you see. Okay? Okay. Marcus went ahead and wrote the whole thing out. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay, we'll give you guys a few more times there. We'll give you guys a few more times there to for everybody to participate. Let's see what you have. Let's see what you got. Give everybody else a chance to write something down there, and we'll write on the board what we see. Got a few more seconds there. Okay. Let's see what Marcus have here. Let's see what he has. He has ha, shamawana, ashara, gaiwazam. Okay. All right. Let's write out what it is. Let's see if Marcus is correct. And we'll write it from right to left here. We'll attack the first one here. Ha, because that's what that says. Sha. Okay. Aisha. And then we're going to write ma, because that's what it says. These are all independent connectors, so we give them their full sound. Their full understanding of their sound is exactly what you see on the chart. Ha, sha, ma, ha, sha, ma. Then we'll have wa, looks like a little slingshot sort of. Then we have a word na, with a ha on the end there. Why? Because we join them together. So it looks like, let's see what you got on that particular word. Ha, shama, why not? So that's spelled correct there. That spells the number, shamawana spells the number 8. Okay? So we wrote out, and then of course ha is spells the word the. So we have the, and then we have the 8, in English, of course. All right. Write that a little neater. All right. The 8. That's what we have on the board. Because ha is what we call a preposition. That's a preposition right there. A preposition prepares a noun to modify it, to tell the nouns something about it. So it's you saying 8. Man, I got 8 cookies or 8 cars or 8 houses. But this is saying the 8. So it's been specific. The 8. So it's preparing this noun over here, or this 8, or this number, which is a noun. The 8. Okay, it's modifying that whole number. That whole number represents 8. So we'll write it here. The 8. And of course, ha is a preposition. Okay, good. All right. Then he has over here, let's write the next part of it. The 8. It's interesting. And then he has a word over here spelled I. Well, let's put it in black here so we can see it a little better. I. Then it has SHA. Ra, but he has an H on the end. Marcus, let's see. You aware that you have an H on the end? Why did you put an H on the end of that? A ha. Why did you put a ha on that? You got Ashara. Why did you put over here? Why did you put an H on the end of this? I'll kind of write it out over here. I-Sha-Ra. And you did this. You put that ha over there, which is an H. Why did you do this? Why did you put that ha on there, on the end? Let me see here. What I'm going to press there. Slot here. Sir? Yeah, I can hear you, sir. Yes. Cover class for you? Well, okay, okay, hold slot the class for a second. How do I do that, sir? It depends on you might have to exit the whole class and start again on I.S.U.P.K online classes. Okay, slot it. So. Do you already have access to the page already? Yes, I'm already up on the. Hold. Let me hold. Salaki class for 1 second. Slakia. Slakia. Can you hear me okay, class, Marcus? You all right? Are we having a storm, you say, over where you are? Okay. I see. No, what I was saying, I'm Salakia, I apologize, Salakias. Where we at? Ooh. Right here you had I.S.U.P.K, and you put a ha on the end. I was wondering why, Marcus. When the word is spelled, you put this extra ha there. I was wondering why, that's all. Because in my spelling, I didn't have this ha right here. I didn't have that there. You know what I'm saying? If you can hear me, I'm assuming you can. If you can, respond, put a 1 in the chat if you could for me. Whoever, Radazak and everybody that's listening, Kazimar, know some of you guys at work there. Unless the power's gotten to you, I understand. But anyway, still there, Marcus? Let's see. I had to take us some difficulties, technicalities there. Oh, okay. You got a 1 there. Can you hear me okay? Let me see. Wait a minute. Okay, good. Good. You can hear me. Gotcha. Appreciate that. A severe one. Yeah, severe. Okay. I mean, and if you have power in your area, if you have a storm in your area, I understand. I understand. Just let me know. But what it is, what I was saying is, in I.S.U.P.K doesn't have a ha on the end, and that's what you put there. But that's not a problem. We'll make sure we take that one out of there. I.S.U.P.K, which means the number 10. That's what that is. It just means the number 10. That's all it is. Okay? I.S.U.P.K. Okay? And then you don't need this H right here. Salakia. I.S.U.P.K. Yeah, you wouldn't need that. Nah. Okay? You have the number 10. And so if you would put, and Marcus, whoever's listening in class also, the word I.S.U.P.K is spelled I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K. And it's just R-A, not an H on the end. So that being said, it means the number 10. So if you add 10 plus 8, so far we have the 18. So far we have 10 plus 8, we have the 8. This means like, so far we have, how would I say that? The 18. If you would take the 10, right. Yeah, if you would take this 10 here on I.S.U.P.K, so we have Ha-Shema-Wana. Ha-Shema-Wana. Ha-Shama-Wana. That means 8. And the is Ha. And Shama-Wana is 8. So if you put I.S.U.P.K with it, which is 10, you have 18. Because 10 plus 8 equals 18. So that's what we're spelling here so far. Salaki there. Okay? You have 10 plus 8. Okay? And that's the 18 so far. That's I.S.U.P.K. So then we have another word over here called Gawaya. Right here. Gawayam. And Gawaya, it means nation. Ga-wa-ya. But we're making it plural, so we want to make it nations. Yeah, you understand, yeah, Marcus, yeah. Yeah, you got it. We want to make it plural, so we say gawayam, and yam right there. And that's what we have spelled here. Let me get back out of the way here. Like that. Gawayam. Gawayam. And Gawayam, and then, Gawaya means, it means nation. So we'll put that down here. We'll put that down here. Gawayam means nation. But because we said yam, now we get to put a big old S there. Now that's Gawayam. So the title of our class is, of course, is the 18 nations. That's sort of, it is a sentence. The 18 nations. You would say, what are the 18 nations? We're going to go over them here in a little bit here. But I first had to break down how you spell it. And you did pretty good. You just had like this H here that you didn't need. You didn't need that, of course. And everything else looks good. Ha-shama-wana, the 8, and then you said Ishara, well, automatically. When you put them back behind each other like that, Shama-wana Ishara, that means the 18. The 18. Let's see what you got here in the chat here. Storm. Let's see. Yeah, Salakis, sir, I put Z because you didn't have the line under the middle through the. Oh, yeah. And you would be right. Salakia. I apologize for that. You would be exactly right. I Salakia to everybody listening. I had this. That's why it's important. I had this. And you're right. And instead of a Z, it should have been like that. The line. And that's very good listening. Very good attention right there. Now, I didn't do that on purpose. That's just my mistake. And I just put it up there. Yeah, I didn't understand. I got it now. But it's you got, yes, Gawayam. So you understand that. And so you understand that it means the 18 nations is what it means. Ha-shama-wana, the 8. To reiterate, then we say Ashara. When you put Shama-wana and Ashara behind it in our math lessons, in our classes where we have our numbers, we know that how you write the numbers. You have Shama-wana is 8 and Ashara is 10, and you go from 1 to 10. If you can count from 1 to 10, then I can get you to count to 1,000. 10,000. We can count on and on, But you're right, Marcus. You're exactly right. And like I said, that was my fault for missing that, for messing that Z and that Y up. The Z and the Ya up. I'm sorry. That line. Just one little line there made that. And that's my fault. It's not your fault. So you had it right. Right. Okay. So Shama-wana. So far, what we have up here is the 18 nations, man. The 18 nations. That's what that is. And of course, let's find out what are these 18 nations. So if you guys understand it, and Marcus, always put this stuff in your notes, man, because this right here helps you with understanding, okay? Give you a few seconds to write that down, or you can roll the tape back. We'll give you a few seconds there. I always like my teacher told me, take notes, man. Take good notes, because you may not see this for another month. I may go on and teach something else, and you may miss it instead of trying to roll the tape back, man. So to reiterate, you have a preposition here before the Shama-wana, and that's how we write things. The 8, and then of course Ishara makes it the 18, and then of course we have Gawayam, which means nation by itself, and then when you want to pluralize something, in this case you want to put Yam, so it's Gawayam. It's perfectly, because Gawaya is already set up with a M there, and all you have to do is just add the M. So that's how that works there. Concert, yeah, got it. Yeah, there you go, Mark. Yeah, you pay attention in class, man. That's what makes you a good student, and that's very perceptive of what you caught right there. All right, so if that's the case, we're talking about, we'll go ahead and erase this. We're talking about the 18 nations. That's what we're talking about. And let's put a few of them up there. And I mean, I've had this before. Let's just put a few 18 nations up there, man. Let's just take our time and put a few. Let's put the first one up here. Let's put what we call we're gonna put this one. Spell this one out for me. I-W-A-L-A-M. I'll do the first one. I'm sorry. Then we'll get you guys to translate what these are. I-W-A-L-A-M. Okay? And I-W-A-L-A-M, and I'll demonstrate here. If you were to write it in Assyrian, it will look like this. It will be I'm doing it in Assyrian so you can see the contrast. Boy, I can just do this right here. My teacher always told me to do things as best as you can do it. So we have I-Ya, then you have La. Like that. Like some sort of funky looking 3 there. That's how they roll. And of course, never forget you have an ending character here, that M. That M has to be put down like that. And of course, the correct way, I used to make a chart out of this till class got a little bit more time consuming here. Ya, there's that little, don't forget that little kickstand there. I-Ya-Lam. Like that. So you want to say I-Ya and then Lam. That's how you can see the word spelled there. And I-Ya-Lam, you can see it spelled, which is really, I-Ya-Lam is Elam. You would call it Elam. The Elamites. Any guess, anybody out there guess at who the Elamites are? We're talking about the 18 nations, so let's write this out here. We're talking about the 18 nations, okay? 18 nations, just like that. Who are the Edomites? Who are the Elamites? Well, they are I-Ya-Lam. Elam. Who in the world are the Elamites? Or Elam? The Bible calls them I-Ya-Lam. When you see I-Ya-Lam in the Bible, it's talking about Elam. I-Ya-Lam. See if anybody can figure out if it sounds like. And I put it in Assyrian up here, and I put it in ancient right here. Okay? Yeah, clap it up for that brother right there. Marcus said the East Indians. Damn right. We'll put that one up here. He said let's put that one down right here. Let's say East Indians. Those are the people that wear the little dot on their head, representing the woman's period and all that. You don't get too detailed in that, but that's their religious understanding, and they worship in some god. I don't know. It's not Buddha. It's maybe, I can't remember what god that is. Anyway, it's a whole nother class. Krishna or somebody. But anyway, the East Indians, exactly right. The East Indians are those people that see, who was that people? East Indians, like Mahatma Gandhi and all those type of people, man. But anyway, that's how you would spell it in the Hebrew. The Elam, I-Ya-Lam, East Indians. All right, let's put another one up here. But those people, all these are the nations, and the Most High, when you look at our Bible, He gave us His Bible, and then He gave us understanding to understand all these nations. And y'all recognize this ending character up in here. for the Assyrian, and also recognize, man, the ooh, the independent and dependent connectors. You got independent, I, Ya, then Lam, Lam. So Lam, I, Ya, Lam. Don't forget that. And I'm going to, in the classes to come, I'm going to get some understanding of, some more of understanding on some different streamcasts, and we're going to go and have a broader audience. So guys, pay attention to my instructions, okay? But this is where we are, Elam. So understand how you write it, you know, in Assyrian and ancient. And you notice in the ancient, the NOV, you have Lam. You have the LA, remember? You ain't dropped the A there. And the M, that Ma, it doesn't need a I. We didn't say Ayalama. We say Ayalan. All you're doing is picking up the sound of the M here. So you say Lam. And that's what we're doing with the dependent connector. La, and then Ma. La, and then Ma. Right there. That's important. You know, but oh, you couldn't see it up here in the Assyrian, man. That's why I kind of wrote both of those. If you write that like that, Ayalam, I mean, you know, all right, you might get it, you might not. You know? Okay. So we'll leave that up on the board and we'll go a few at a time here. We'll do another one then, we'll maybe do 3 and then we'll have to erase for the sake of, let's see, we're going to go to another one. I'm going to write this one down. I want you guys to tell me, who is this? All right, tell me who this one is. Let's see. Tell me who this one is here. Okay, this was 1, and then 2. We'll do this one. All right. Then we'll have this word. I want you guys to tell me who this. Do it on your own. That way you'll remember what this is. Okay. There we go. Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. All right, write that down. That is in ancient Hebrew. I'm going to write them in ancient Hebrew because I want you to get them correct. For some reason, you don't have as many mistakes when you write in ancient Hebrew because you have the connectors. That's the rule that I taught. You know, the rule that I taught. The only rule that I got for you in Assyrian is just the ending connectors. All right, okay, fine. But when you do this connectors, I mean the ending characters, but when you do the ending connectors here, like this, that's when you know. That's when you know how to more specifically do it better. So you have what do you have? Then what? Y'all write that down in the chat. Tell me what you got. Let's lock it for a second. Y'all write down what you see right there, number 2. Write down what that is in the English. That's what you have to translate it first. But what is this thing in the English first? You know? Before we can go further than that. You gotta write it down. Write it down in English. Lock it. Okay. All right. Talking about that. Let's see what we got. See who we have. You know, we got first East Indians. Okay. What's this one we're working on right now? What does this spell? Talking about the 18 nations. Okay? Or the 18 nations. Hashamuana, Aishara, Gawayam. The 18 nations. It's important. The 18 nations, man. Okay? Okay. Marcus put down. Let's see what Marcus put down. Marcus put down a word called war. We'll wait for everybody to see if that's what they got. And be thinking, who in the world is war? What does it sound like? war. And of course, write these down in your notes, man. I mean, this helps. This helps with your further understanding too. war. war. East Indians we know. Elam. You know, and now we're talking about war. You know. Okay. All right. Clap it up for that, brother. That's correct. That's how you say that. war. And of course it goes back to the connectors, man. These connectors are your friends, man. That's your friends because you have independent connector. That upside down U, that's an independent connector. Then you have Sha, independent connector. There it is. So we say then we say Sha, and then we have Wa. We have Wa right here. That Wa. And that Wa keeps the full sound. That's important. That's important. Wa. But over here, we drop the vowel. So we have war. war. And that's what this word is. war. So, Marcus, you have it right, man. That's 100% correct. Anybody know what war is? What it's spelled? I mean, we know what it spells in American, but what nation is that? It's one of the nations. And the Bible calls it Ashur. The Bible calls it what does it call it? Yeah, Ashur, Slock. Spell that right? Yeah, Ashur. Yeah. And Ashur, of course, let's see if Marcus come up with what it is. We'll wait before I say anything. Slocky, I don't know this one. Okay. All right, get your pencil and paper because this will be what you call Assyria, Marcus. Assyria. That's where you get the Assyrian language. Assyria. The Assyrians, okay? When you say Assyria or the Syrians, or I can say Assyria or Assyrians, but the word Ashur. When you see Ashur in the Bible, Ashur, not Ashur, one of our tribes, you say Ashur. We're not talking about one of our tribes. All these are the other nations. You know, we have our nation, that's Israel, but we're talking about Ashur, the Assyrians, the one that has in captivity, man. And that's where we get, of course, the language. If I were to write it, if I was to write that language, that word would be spelled like this. Sha, like this, like that, something like that. Sha, and then we have, what am I looking at here? Wa, like that. And then we have ra, r, like that. Ashur, war. Ashur. That's Assyrian. Kind of hard to get that out of there. I'll make this little W looking thing here that look a little bit more like that. Okay? Ashur. Ashur, man. You know, it's the same as Ashur in the Bible. This is what you see in the Bible. You see Ashur. Like when we say we read the 83rd Psalm, it says Ashur is joined with them. Those are the nations that sought to do us harm, man, and put their foot on our neck. Ashur is hope is joined with them. That's what this nation is. The Syrians, what that is, and it's Ashur. So that's what you see. It's spelled like that. But that's what this is saying here. So we say Ashur. It's all right. So it's all right. I mean, that's the whole point. But you are learning these. So we have Ayalam, and then we have what did I say? And we have Elam, then we have Ashur. We'll put it up here. This is what you see. Ashur. Okay? Or Assyria. Either one. And they are called the, of course, in the Bible, the East Indians would be Elam, but this would be Ashur, or the Assyrians, okay, or Ashur, okay, or the Assyrians, like this. Just like that. Of course. All right. We'll do a few more here. Number three. Let's see, here's one. Let's do this. This is we'll have, let's see, well, yeah, we'll stay with ancient Hebrew, because I want you to make sure you be able to read these connectors and be able to read them right and get everything proper here. So let's do this. What? Or in Assyrian, we'll say like that, and then we have in the connector here. What does that word spell? That would be the number 3. I'll take the time. Write that one down. Take your time and write that one down. Like I said again, this is I.S.U.P.K. Start off 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA, where we teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians make up the 12 tribes of Israel, man. And we're talking about the 18 nations here, man. This, only in I.S.U.P.K. you get this information, man. All these other fake camps, they just copy off of us, and if they get it right. They come up here with this weak understanding of whatever, They're weak because they're not under command of General YAHANNA. You need to get up here and find out where you would get some understanding, man. The Most High gave one leader. When had David back in the days, at Christ, and leaders, and Commander General YAHANNA is the leader of this day, in I.S.U.P.K. That's just as simple as that. It's not that hard to understand. So if you really want to understand this, and we invite people in class, we don't lock them down and secure everybody out. We just basically that you pay attention to class and don't try to teach us. Let us teach you. Under Commander General YAHANNA is the leader of the I.S.U.P.K. He is the commander of the I.S.U.P.K. man. That's the one who who tells us an understanding. We've been around since 1969, so no other nation can teach the priests and prophets of the Lord. You know? So get in I.S.U.P.K, man. That's the whole point. They say you have Aram. Yeah, there you go. Let's clap it up for that, brother. Aram, that's what it spells. It spells Aram. Let's see. Yeah. It spells this. Make sure I got it spelled right. Yeah, that's right. You gotta have that H there. Ra, Ma. Right. English there. Okay, Aram. And Aram, who is Aram, man? Now we know we got it in both languages up here. We got ancient up here, and then we got Assyrian right here. So who is Aram? What nation is that, man? You know, so we got Ayalam, East Indians. We got Ashawar as a Syrian man. You know, we got that biblical name of Elam. Then we have Ashur, and then of course we got Aram. Okay, who is this people? Who in the world is Aram? Or Aram? They kind of spell alike in the, let's see, in their, the biblical names, in other words, you know, what we would call, what you would see in the Bible. You know, you would see Ayalam, you would see Ashamar, Ashawar, and you would see Aram. This all spelled like this, of course. And so tell me, what is this? Who is Aram? Because like I don't know. Okay, good, fine. That's no problem. That's what we're learning here. Aram, those are the Syrians from Syria. Syria. You know, those Arabians. Pretty much those Arabian guys up there, man. Arabs. You know, they probably all about halfway damn akin to each other anyway. Arabs and their oil and their wells, and Syrians, man. That's what they are. Before I erase that there. The Syrians from Syria. The Aram, okay? Or Aram, A-R-A-M. Or Aram, A-H-R-A-M. But that's what we get. Elam, East Indians, the Elam, Ayalam, Elam, yeah. We'll put it up there. Okay. We'll put another one up here. All right. Here's one. Let's see if you guys can get this one. Let's see. Let's see if we can get this one here. Think about this here. Yeah, there we go. All right. Of course, 18 nations here, man. You know, this is be number. I want to say number 4. Yeah, I mean they don't have to be in this order. Just the order that I'm putting them down necessarily. We may not even get all through all the 18, but we may have to do some next week and to join it into another class. All right, here. This is what we got. Of course, we can. Let's see. Will we put this one in there? I'll put this in this here. This is ancient right here, up to the top. This is ancient. Of course, I'll put the Syrian over here. Let's put this Syrian down here for this right here. Uh, ooh. And then, like that. It's locked. Okay? I giving you some of it. I need to write that better than that. Let's see. There we go. What does this spell? Of course, it's the Syrian is in the blue right here. Syria is in the blue. Just like that. I like to use the ancient because it gives me my connectors, man. There we go. So, use that one up there. Tell me. It's locked. Got the camera off a little bit. Let's kind of move it over a little bit so we can see a little bit more of the board there. So lock you. Normally don't do this. There we go. There we go. Okay. See a little better now. Okay. So far, like I said, we have Iwalam, East Indians, man. Ashur, Assyria. Aram, which is Syria. Assyria and Syria. You know, it's a whole nother lesson to get down to the real understanding of who they are, but that's just kind of going by their biblical identity and giving an understanding. You know, the Syrians were in captivity. East Indians are some country over there near Pakistan, and where they have women have little red dots in there worshiping the feminine period or whatever they're doing over there. Sickening, you know. That's why the Most High put this in here in our Bible, so we'll understand all nations. So we'll understand who they are. We'll understand our enemy. And of course, Psalms 83 has a lot of these nations in there, if not all of them. Okay? So, let's see. Anybody? Let's see. Yashamala. Okay, let's see what he has here. He says, Yasha Maila. Make sure I got it up. Let's see here. Okay. Yasha Maila. All right, let's see what the word, let's see what did I miss here? I may have missed a vowel in here. I think I might have. I might have missed one right here. Sometimes I do that. Let's write this one again, maybe. Let's see. Yasha, my eye. Yeah. I think it's yeah. You would be right, Mark. And let's put this one in there. Do that one. Do that one again, Marcus. You got it. You had it right, but I left one out. I think I left this character out here. So write that one again, just for the sake of writing it. Let me make sure I got it down here right. It's been a while since I've written these here. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Just wrote it down wrong. anyway, we'll go ahead and we'll do that again, Mark. Let's see how good you are. You got it right, but just go ahead and add this vowel right here into it. Add that one into it. There we go. Yeah, it's my fault. Let's see what you got here. Yeah. Yeah, that would be correct. Yashama'ila. Go ahead and erase it out of the way, get it out of the way, but that's, I left the A out, so I'm sorry about that. Okay, number 4 here. Not necessarily in order, that's just the way it is, so sloppy about that. Okay? Yashama'ila. So let's write that down, man. Let's write that down. Let's write down Ya Sha My Allah. Yeah, I left out an A there. So anybody, you have a guess? Which one you think? What does this says, Marcus? A matter of fact, I'll put down who is Ishmael. That word says Ishmael. Ishmael. When you tell me what nation that is, you tell me what today's name of that nation. Who is Ishmael? Think about it for a second. That's Abraham's son, right? Ishmael. Yashama'ila. So that's Ishmael, right? So, and he had another son, Isaac. We're Isaac. So, what nation came from Ishmael? That's what I want to know. Let me know what that is. Marcus? Arabic. Yeah, Arabs. Exactly right. Just the Arabs. I guess they speak Arabic. Yeah. Arabs. Exactly right. It's another one of these rich oil countries. Basically, all these countries in the Middle East over here, what they are in the Middle East, that's what they say the Middle East, but of course, we lived there long before a lot of these people did, you know. But anyway, the Arabs, Yashama'ila, you know, what they call them today is the Arabs. You know, that Ishmael, that's Abraham's son. Hagar would be the his mama, and Hagar was an African, and Hagar and Ishmael couldn't possibly be the descendants of us. That's the descendants of the Arabs. Of course, that's when you had Sarah and Isaac. The Bible says this out of the seed of Isaac. Isaac's daddy name was Abraham. So you have Abraham, Isaac, and then of course Jacob and the 12 tribes. But Isaac's mother was Sarah. But Ishmael's mother was Hagar, Hagar. And that's a big difference. That's an African woman. You know, that ain't, the Most High made sure that he differentiated between her. I mean, that ain't somebody that's part of us. So when you're talking about Yashama'ila, so, and it's good. So you make sure you write these down. Yeah, but in the Arabs, so the people with all the oil wells, man, you know, got all of the turbans and the carpets and all this stuff, man. This is what the people, because they got all the oil, man. You know, the Most High didn't make him a descendant of his 12 tribes, and then a lot of people. Then of course the Muslims, you know, they want to be Arabs and Assalamu Lincoln and all this stuff, talking about he got the blessing. Well, yeah, he got a blessing. He got a blessing of some water and some bread and sent Hagar and Ishmael out. Yashma'elah, Ishmael. And gave him a nation, princes and all of that, man. And made him the Arabs. They got their own nation. You know, they're all part of the nations that went against us in Psalms 83. They're all of the nations, man. And because we're just naming 4 of them, I think we got time to do maybe 1 or 2 more, maybe. But these are the nations that we're talking about, the 18 nations, man. Ha is the, and then of course we said Shamonah, Asherah, that's 18, the 18, and then we say Gawayah for nation, and then we want to say plural, we say Gawayam, Shamonah, Asherah, Gawayam, which means 18 nations, and that's what we're describing here. And so forth, we have Ayalam, East Indians, Ashawar, Assyria, Aram, Syria, Yashma'elah, Arabs. Big difference. So don't get us confused with any of these other little small nations, man, that try that think that they serve our God, because not a one of them. All these 18 nations do not serve our God, man. They don't serve us. Let's skip to one here. Let's see, we got time. Yeah, let's do this one right here. Let's do this one. Let's do this one. Do this one. Let's make sure we get across this one. I don't want to miss this one. Yeah. Do that one. That's number 5. We'll put him in green. Make sure we'll get another different color there. Number 5. And they're not in order. I'm just writing them down. Just writing some more. I may even skip a few. Just because of class. I mean, you know, I've never done a class where I was able to finish all of these. I don't think. Maybe 1 or 2 classes are. Plus, it's got so much information going on here. Sloppy. Okay. Write this one out for me. And of course, we're using the ancient Hebrew here, man. In ancient Hebrew, I'm not using the Assyrian on this because the ancient Hebrew will describe these words down to a T. They'll break them down for you, like Ayalam, Ashawar, Aram, Yashma'elah. You know, the East Indians is Ayalam, to reiterate. Ashawar, of course, guys, I want you, while you're listening to me, go ahead and write this. Who is this? Tell me in English what that word is there. Ayalam, East Indians. Ashawar is Assyrians, man. That's where we get our bottom half of our chart from, the Assyrians, man, that has the Indian connectors, you know, that had us in captivity and kept our same sounds on our characters, man. Made different pictures, because that's all a character, that's all a sound is. It's a picture sound, you know. And Aram, or Aram, which is Syria, you know. Syrians, that Syria's like, so geographically, it's like to the right, northeast of Israel, sort of like right above there, right to the right of Israel. And they were there, territorial, you know. We had all these people to contend with back then, man. That's how the Most High fought for us. You know, hey, Yashma'elah, Arabs, that's where Ishmael came from, and Hagar, his mother. Although Ishmael had Abraham as his daddy, but he is not part of the nation of Israel. He went with his mama. He had a concubine mama. His mom was Hagar, you know, an African. You know, they can't be on the throne of the 12 tribes of Israel. You know, had that little blessing, Yashma'elah. And of course, what this one? Go ahead and break this one down. Tell me what this one is. Let's see what we got here. See what we got in the chat here. Marcus say, Adawam, which is the Idumea, Edomites, Esau, the devil. I know this one. Laugh out loud. Yeah, clap this stuff for this brother right here. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. He said, I know this one. He said, Adawam. That's what. That's class in there. I'll make sure you knew this one. Adawam. Since you got that one right, I go ahead and write this one down. He say, Adawam, which means what? What does Adawam mean, Marcus? If you don't, I'll break it down to you and tell you what it means. Adawam. It's of course that's Esau. We'll say Edom. Well, that's what you say. And it's of course Esau, or Idumea in the Greek. Edom, Edomites, or Esau, Jacob and Esau, in Genesis 25th chapter, 25th verse, somewhere there. Adawam. What does Adawam mean? What did I say? Adawam, yes. Adawam. Don't get that confused with any other word but Adawam. We have Shar, Dawada, Kaz, Radazak, and that Shat. Let's see. Very good. Now, let's see here. Where's the other chat? Yeah, red. Let's clap it up for that brother right there. That's what it means. And that's how you know who, because his name is Adawam in the Bible. And it means red. Let's read that in the Bible. That's important. A lot of people, a lot of our people, blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians tuning in and they see this word, they don't know what it is. Let's break it down to them. Let's find it in the Bible. Let's find it so people, it means red. That's the devil, man. You can't, we want to make sure we know who this rascal is, Let's break it down. Let's turn your Bible to Genesis if you have, you may even have it on your phones. I don't know. But let's find this and turn to Genesis. Let's just find it. Let's find out where this rascal come from. Let's find out Edom come from, because he's always trying to deny it, Let's tell him here in Lashawan Qadas class. Let's just break it down. Shoot. All right. Let's see. Verse 21, Genesis 25:20. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord, or the Most High, was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived. I mean, she had a child. Okay? And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? I'm supposed to be having a baby, man. This is supposed to be a good thing. Why am I thus? Why am I struggling here? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations. That's what we talk about 18 nations. But in Adawam here, or in Edom, or in this particular story, when we talk about Gawayam, 2 nations, okay, what's that? Shanya Gawayam, or in thy womb. And 2 manner of people shall be separated, man, Badalka, or Qadas. One's going to be different to separate something from thy bowels, from her stomach, man. And the one people shall be stronger. You can't get no understanding better than this in I.S.U.P.K, man. Be strong. We're in verse 23. Stronger than the other people. And the elder shall serve the younger. That means Adawam. Esau, Edom, came out first. He was the elder that came out first. The Bible says he's going to serve Jacob. That's us, the 12 tribes of Israel. Just making a long story short here. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in the womb. They said Jacob and Esau were twins, but look what the Most High said. What he said right here, he separated them. That means he separated these two. That way they're going to have two nations. The Bible said it. Two nations are in their womb. How many? Two nations. Not three, not four, not five, but two nations are in Rebekah's womb. And the Most High separated that. He separated this and made them two nations. Okay, that's how we know. One's going to come out something here. The first, verse 25. The first came out what? Adawam. Red. First came out of Adawam. See, the Most High knows what he's talking. He's giving us a record here. The first came out red, all over like a hairy gum, and they called his name Esau. But we'll read verse 26. And after that came his brother out of the hand, took hold of Esau's heel, and the name called him Jacob. That's us. And Isaac was 3 score. And Esau didn't give Esau color because he's a man of color, like the 12 tribes of Israel now. You know, like we are. You know, people. You know, they just he came out red with the same curse of Cain and Abel. So he came out Cain's curse of leprosy. That's what Esau had, and that's what he is. A leper, basically. And that's what it is. So Edom, so it's red. That's what Adawam means. Make no mistake about it. There's the story in Genesis, 25th chapter. So how in the world can you to make a mistake in understanding and knowing who that is? Adawam, red. And we bring it out in Lashawan, Qadas. It means red. So clap it up for Marcus there. He's exactly right. Exactly right. That's what that means, okay? I just wanted to read the story so people tuning in wouldn't say, oh, you know, that ain't what it means. Hey, we just read it. So, you know, prove me wrong. You know, you got the chat right there. You know, Genesis 25. There you go, Marcus. Exactly right. Write that down in your notes. Keep it up, young man. You know, get your name here after a while, man. Just stay up in here, okay? You know, Adawam, Esau, red. You know, not none of this stuff that people try to mistake. You know, Esau got the same blessings we did, and Isaac got. Ishmael got the same blessings we did, and the Syrians did. War. You know, the Most High gave them. He gave them blessings. He gave Esau. If you keep reading the story, he gave Esau or Edom the gift of the weapon. That's why he's shooting up everybody out here. Why you think they killing us up out on the street? Lamentations 4:18 said we can't even walk in our streets, man, unless they killing us all day, every day, like wholesale. Like that, they killed George Floyd, man. I mean, right in TV with his demon devil eyes sitting there with his foot on George Floyd's neck, man. You know, just stepping on his neck like it was nothing, man. And you tell me this man ain't the devil? That's the matter of fact, let's put that on the board. I'll make sure before we end class here. Esau is Adawam, red, or he is the devil. He ain't no pitchfork sticking up what people go for Halloween and put a little pitchfork suit on and hide under the earth talking about, oh, that's the devil. The devil is this Edom or this Esau or the white man. It's simple. The hell is that. Adawam, the devil, Edom, Esau. You can't be no more simpler in understanding in that. We read about it. How you going to misunderstand it? That's why I wanted to get this one, because every time I do the 18 nations, I love to bring up his name and the devil and Adawam and step on it. Tell you exactly, chew it up, because that's what he is. He's a evil tyrant, enemy. You know, and the Bible just told you, just gave him red because, you know, Christ is a black man. And they're trying to portray Caesar Borgia a red man, which is the white devil. Simple as that. You know, that's the understanding that we're given behind the name Adawam, Esau, the devil. Not so much that he's red, but he is. The Bible describes it. It's just that he is the devil, which means deceiver. Okay, so clap it up for class. I'm going to stop it right there because we have some announcements to make. Let's clap it up for class. Young man Marcus did a great job, man. Let's clap it up for class. Okay. Yeah. All right. And that's yeah, let's clap it up for class. Let's do let people know that when we do Lashawan Qadas class, man, we try to give you a little, appreciate that, Mark. We try to give you a little understanding also of Radazak and all the other people that was participating in class. And we're going to try to do something a little different here in class as the time goes on. We'll let people know that when you get the Lashawan Qadas class, we try to give you some history and understanding, man, behind what we do here. So we'll make the class a little bit more understanding and attentive behind. When we talk 18 nations, we want to describe for you and show you what these nations are, man. Show you who I.S.U.P.K is, East Indian. Of course, we only got to 5 because I didn't have enough time to go through all of them. Ashur, Assyria, Aram, Syria, Yashma'elah, which is Ishmael's people, man, Arabs, and Lashawan, which is the white man, the devil. Basically, Edom, Esau. Find that in Genesis 25. Read the whole chapter there for understanding. If you're black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, man, understand these 18 nations, they're your enemy. And of course, one of the biggest ones that run America right now is this Lashawan. It's Esau, that one, that devil. That's what you got to understand, see? And so you'll understand a little better. I just don't want to just talk about Lashawan Qadas class only. I want to be able to talk about all of the things, talk a little bit of history about it so people can understand. But that's what we learn here in Lashawan Qadas class, man. We learn the chart, so get yourself familiar with the Hebrew chart. In the ancient and the connectors, get used to that. You know, the Assyrian, the ending characters. You know, your 5 ending characters. They have 22 sounds, and of course there's 5 extra in the Assyrian. And there's let's see. Of course, let's see what I say. Yeah, there's 2 vowels. There's the ah and the I, and that's what we'll leave that off, and then we'll get back next week with some more understandings. Okay, and join us every week here in South Carolina. All right. We're going to read some security announcements here. The I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Start off 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for the brother or sister. When a brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They'll be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 and 10. Means 10th in Hebrew, ma'asharah. Okay? 10% of every penny of any increase the Most High gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher, priest fund. Free will offering for the priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like We have upholy convocations, and we had just had the let's see, the Feast of First Fruits, man, starting after Sabbath and unleavened bread. But now the next the next holy convocation we're going to have is going to be the memorial of blowing of the trumpets, the first day of the 7th month, Sunday, the 25th September 2022. Leviticus 23, 24, and 25. That'll be our next holy convocation. Of course, we're going to remind Akim, that's brothers in plural, and Akwaf, that's sisters, to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. For that we say, Shalom.